Hi guys, it's Tom again, back here with another plant ID video. Hope you've all been enjoying the lovely weather we've been having, and your plants have been making the most of it as well. I haven't been able to do a video in a little while because we welcomed this little guy into our family, Gus, the golden retriever puppy, who is just crazy. So I haven't really had a lot of time for putting together like plant videos or even really caring for my plants, but he's getting a bit older now and he can almost go for walks and stuff, so hopefully that will help him burn off some energy. I'm just going to put him down and then we'll get started with today's video. There we go. So today I just thought I'd do a quick video to hopefully help you tell the difference between a Philodendron Pastazanum and a Philodendron Dean McDowell. In case you didn't know, the Philodendron Pastazanum is a species plant, so it's a pure species, and the Philodendron Dean McDowell is actually a hybrid between the Philodendron Pastazanum and most people's favourite kind of crawling velvety philodendron, the Philodendron Gloriosum. I believe they were crossed by John Banter, but I don't know a lot about the history of the plant, if I'm honest. So the reason I thought I'd make this video is because not only do the two plants look very similar, on the screen is a Philodendron McDowell and here is a Philodendron Pastazanum. There's a lot of these plants, again, being misidentified and missold, even by quite large and well-known shops across the world. So it'd be useful to go through some of the main differences between the two plants. The different characteristics that I'm going to highlight aren't exactly foolproof. If I'm honest, the only way that you can be 100% certain when you're identifying plants like this is to check the inflorescence or the flower. And the McDowell and the Pastazanum have distinctly different coloured inflorescences, but I'm not going to show that in the video because the chances are that if you're keeping these plants in your house, you're probably not going to see them flower. So first of all, looking at the Philodendron Dean McDowell that's on my screen now, you can see that it's got quite an attractive sort of wide leaf shape and it's fairly round. It's also got a pillowy leaf texture, so the veins are actually sunken into the leaf and it's nice and pillowy, a bit like a Philodendron plarmanii. If you look at the Philodendron Pastazanum in contrast, and obviously this is some more immature plant, with Pastazanums the leaf blade is generally flatter and you don't quite have that kind of like pillowy bullate texture like you do the Philodendron Dean McDowell. So that's one of the differences, and that's not really giving you much to go off, if I'm honest. So you kind of have to tick a list off as you're going through and checking your plant over to really tell what you've got. So secondly, another characteristic which differentiates the Dean McDowell from the Philodendron Pastazanum is when Dean McDowell leaves emerge, they do so with like quite a distinct pink tinge to them, as you can see in this image here, taken by Russell Lowe from the Philodendron Enthusiasts Facebook group. And this kind of is not just on the abaxial, the kind of the veining on the front of the leaf. So here is also noticeably pink. The reason I'm not showing a photo of this is because it's quite hard to find these type of images online unless you've got the plants, and I unfortunately don't have either of these plants in my collection, so I'm just kind of having to go from second-hand images. So yeah, Pastazanum leaves, when they emerge, they come out kind of like a typical sort of light green colour. They don't have this pink coloration like the Dean McDowell does. So that is a second kind of differentiating characteristic. Thirdly, and again, I don't have a photo of both of these, but this is the petiole of a Dean McDowell, and you can see that it is green and it has these white flecks running kind of vertically up the petiole. On the Philodendron Pastazanum, you also have a green petiole, but these flecks of white colour are much shorter, so I'm led to believe. On the Dean McDowell, you can see some of them are very long. They do vary in length, but generally speaking, you've got quite a lot of kind of distinct white lines on the petiole. And a final difference, which although is very obvious to the eye, it does seem to cause quite a lot of arguments and kind of disagreements from the plant community, is that Dean McDowell is said to have a kind of noticeably and quite vividly dark red coloured cataphyll, as you can see in this image here, which I've taken from one of the Facebook groups as well. And this is in contrast to the Philodendron Pastazanum, which has that kind of classic yellowy green colour of the cataphyll when new leaves are emerging. As you can see, these are very different colours between the two plants. And you might think this is a really obvious way of telling the two plants apart, but there are reports of Philodendron Pastazanum which have all the characteristics of a Philodendron Pastazanum, but they have red cataphyls. So it doesn't seem like this is a kind of definitive way of telling the plants apart. It's just another kind of tool, in addition to the ones that we've already gone over in this video, that can kind of help you work out which plant you've got. But if I'm honest, and if you watch this video and you're still unsure, I think the best thing to do is to take some pictures of your plant, go onto the Philodendron enthusiasts group on Facebook, and ask away on there, because there's people on there that are way more knowledgeable than I am, and people that are absolutely brilliant at identifying plants. Whilst we're talking about the two plants, I thought it might also be beneficial to kind of go through quickly just how rare and expensive both of these plants are. So thinking about the Philodendron Pastazanum, in the UK anyway, this plant can be had for less than £100. You can actually import it from Ecuador for $40 plus the import fee if you're willing to do the rehabilitation work yourself. So although it is a rare tropical plant, it's not vastly expensive. If you're after a Philodendron Dean McDowell, and one that has been kind of verified as being a Dean McDowell, can't find the picture now, here it is, you're looking at spending more money. So these plants are harder to come by than ones that have been kind of properly identified and verified as being the Dean McDowell hybrid. And you're probably looking at paying, in the region of £200 to £250 if you wanted to add one to your collection. Obviously, it depends on the size and the maturity of the plant, and also kind of the seller and how much they want to get for it. But yeah, the Pastazanums are definitely easier to come by. However, they're not always correctly identified, and there has been plenty of people who've bought Pastazanums off other collectors and have later found out that they've got the Dean McDowell, so the hybrid. So yeah, it's a bit of a score really, depending on whether you wanted the rarer plant or not. So yeah, anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. I'm sorry it hasn't been massively detailed. There doesn't seem to be a lot of documentation about either of these species available online. So yeah, your best guess is just to kind of look at the plant you've got, look at some pictures of both Pastazanum and Dean McDowell online, go through the checklist of characteristics that I've spoken about in this video, and if you're still unsure, ask away on a Facebook group. Or you could potentially wait years and years for your plant to flower and buy a massive indoor terrarium and hope for the best. Anyway, cheers.